In this video, I'm going to show you how to change some of the basic menu settings. Okay, so when you're on the info screen, or even when you're in live view, if you click on the menu button to the left, you'll then be greeted with your main menu. So you've got your playback, to the left, you've got your shooting menu, you've got your setup menu, you've got your retouch menu, and you've got your recent settings, which is just recent ones that you've altered. So, firstly, you'd want to go into your shooting menu. Here is where you can change, you can set your picture control, you can set your image quality and your image size for photography. You can adjust your white balance in here. You can also adjust your movie settings. Now this is the one that we're going to look at. If you use the multi-selector, go across, you can then change your frame size and frame rate in here, your movie quality, your microphone settings, and making sure that you're on manual movie settings. So starting at manual movie settings, you want to use the multi-selector and go across, and you always want to make sure that they are on. Microphone will always want to be on auto. Movie quality is wanting to be on high because you want the best quality possible. And on frame size / frame rate, you're going to want to be on 1920 1080 25 frames per second, or 1920 1080 24 frames per second. 25 is England, but 24 is American, but it can give a bit of a movie look when shooting with DSLRs. So if you want to go for that, I'd go for 24. But either of them is fine. Just make sure when you're editing that you set your timeline to either 25 or 24 frames per second, judging on which one you choose. But make sure that's all set. Make sure you have these settings and these are the correct ones before you start shooting anything. That's all you'll want to change in there. If you then go across using the multi-selector again and go down to setup menu, format memory card. So this is where you go once you've finished filming, where you go to wipe the memory card, before, obviously make sure you've transferred all your footage onto a computer, onto a hard drive, make sure it's all backed up. You do this before you hand the camera back in, just so other people can't look at your videos or use them or take them or whatever they might want to do. So just for peace of mind, you always format it, because I'll do it if you forget. So whatever you do, don't hand in the camera without taking off your footage, because if you do that, you won't ever see that footage again, because I will just format it if you haven't. So you go in there to format. You also go in there to make sure your video mode is set to PAL and not NTC. So make sure that's set to PAL. It'll just utilize that change. And that's all you'll need in there. You might want to turn the beep off from when you're navigating through the camera. It will just beep if that's on, so make sure that's off. Most of these settings you won't need to change, but it's just good to know where they are. Retouch, you won't ever use them. And recent settings, here's a quick way to jump to the ones that you might want to change or adjust. But that's the menu. And to exit again, you just press the menu button and you'll go out, and that is the menu.